Good evening, good afternoon, beautiful, melanated, original, whatever you respectfully call yourself, people. I am cleaning. I have stuff packed, I have stuff everywhere. But I just wanted to drop in here and talk about how this COVID is affecting us. Now, I told you my whole family has been ravaged by COVID. Things have changed. I have aunts that are like my cousins. You know how you have those aunts that's your cousin, but they're your aunts. That has been affected by COVID. My whole family. We're just being able to heal. And I just think about how COVID is getting worse and worse. And all of these states are allowing us to get sick. We keep talking about how Bill Gates did African people, how they did us black people in the Tuskegee experiments. What is their main goal? It's always depopulate the black population. That is the main goal. Depopulate the black people. Depopulate the black people. Separate the black people. Use the black people. And this is what I want us to know. Want us to do. Most of us black people, we the ones had to go through the essential jobs and all that. And most of us have to, we use the school system as daycare and lunch because most of us don't have a good education. Most of us black people, we got enough where we can read, right? But I'm talking about education where we know how to really create a business, where we're not playing this game. Education of where we know the stock market. We don't really get those type of jobs. Where we don't get those type of jobs. You know, like what I'm saying is, we don't, I was looking at a message, excuse me y'all. We don't get those jobs where we get to relax and just let people work for us. We always get the businesses where we're either cutting hair, washing dishes, flipping burgers, working in a nursing home, working as a nurse, running around. Not nothing wrong with the nurse, but we get all the hard working jobs while most white people benefit off of businesses we never even think of. Then they do businesses within businesses. All these opportunities are left out from us. And they have us running around trying to make the same amount of money as them to live the lifestyle that they have created for the world while our kids suffer. I feel like they're using children as carriers of COVID so that they can depopulate. Common sense will tell you. If you need to wear masks or if it's something going on, common sense will tell you that the children are going to spread COVID. Kids are the most spreaders of all bacteria and viruses. So if you got a whole bunch of kids that's not going to think like an adult and not really going to be so careful, what you got? An incubator. These schools are nothing but incubators for COVID. And the government don't care because their plan is to depopulate us anyway. COVID was a blessing to these rich, racist motherfuckers because they get to make an excuse to steal money and not give it to us. They rescue themselves again from failing businesses while ours fail, and we continue to. They want our businesses to fail. They want us to get sick so that we can continue to work their bullshit ass jobs. Now, if we owned a McDonald's, we don't need to own a McDonald's. I understand we own franchises, but why can't we come up with our own burger company that's just a national brand? Why we don't have a black chicken company that's a national brand? Why the fuck we got to continue to work for these white people who put us in conditions that put our life in danger? They got these kids, they tricking us to send our kids back to school. Mine wasn't going back, not my grandkids. Mine wasn't going back because at the end of the day, my kids is not going to die because they caught COVID from school. Just so these white people can feel satisfied to get their quota, to get the reason to spend money. So it won't look odd why money ain't going to the public schools, because most of the money is going to these private rich schools. And they need to get you in public schools so they can justify stealing the rest of the money in them private rich schools. We want private schools. We don't need these fucked up public schools. But they got us thinking because we don't make the income they make that we don't deserve it, when most of these private schools are government funded too. And these people get to do what they want and make their rules. You'll never know what's going on in the white private schools. You'll never know what's going on in the white neighborhoods. That's why they keep us out of it. We'll never see how it's affecting us. They keep us, most of black people are affected by COVID. Most of us affected by COVID the worst because of the health conditions that white society have us in, because of the not being able to get food and healthy food and medicines. We eat, but most of the junk, most of these poison foods are in Dollar General, Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, all these places that's cheap. Why is it so cheap? Because it's poison. We're not used to eating fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, because we're used to filling our bellies with solid food so that we can get through the day. If black people, we eat different. White people eat to enjoy themselves. We eat to feel our hunger. We gotta make our foods, we prepare foods that last. Everything we do, we're preparing because we know that they take from us. So our situation is different because we are suffering in all levels of the COVID. They're only suffering physically when some of them get sick. COVID is affecting us physically, mentally, and financially. They say the world, because when they lose $100,000 out of $1 million, it's a problem. But we living off of the inflated dollar all our lives. Don't be tricked. We got to learn to do stuff different. We got to learn to take care of our own children. Okay, we got to learn to take care of our own children, and we got to learn to teach our own children. We cannot keep sending our kids to these schools. These schools are incubators. As soon as your child get it, they're bringing it home. They're bringing it home to you. It is not worth sending your kids to a school to prison pipeline system. That's only going to allow you to be infected and your family to be infected, because most of the people in private school are poor whites and blacks and other Mexicans and people of color. Those are the neighborhoods they want, because right now gentrification goes on. That's what white people do. They come in there and they buy up the land. Well, they need us to move and die out faster. And even though you have corrupt, desolated buildings and abandoned buildings, they need the whole area so that they can feel safe. So they want most of these areas to die out. Black businesses, black bodies, people of color, poor whites, to die out so big corporations could come in there. And racist white people need to understand, just because you're easing under the guise of being white and you're not affected as you think, you are next, because your history shows white people ain't never give a damn about white people neither. They just stick together to get a common thing done, and that's conquer black people and people of color and keep us blinded and stupid so that we won't see what they're actually doing. They're just being able, they made their bed on this earth and they want it as comfortable as they could be, and they making it hard for me and you. They created a disease, these people, that is killing us. Killing people, and nobody is held responsible. Who is going to be held responsible? And in the midst of this, rich white people are robbing us and letting us die. They telling us to go to schools. They want us to keep living and going, and then our people are dying in hospitals without other people, without other family members. We are getting, black people, we have already been dealing with the racism, oppression, being left behind, trying to pull ourselves up by the straps, no boots, because they never gave us boots, trying to pull ourselves up by straps that America gave us. And now they're killing us with the COVID. When is somebody going to be held responsible for the shit they do to black people? But this COVID, they want us to die out, and they want you to send your children to school so that your children could be an incubator for COVID, while they, as you can see, Trump and his people, they supposed to have it so bad you ain't seen them huff or puff not once. So they can save themselves the medicines and they can have another up on humanity. They want you to die out and your children to be the carriers. So it can seem like it's just something happening. It's just that this disease is man-made. Peace. Be smart. Watch your children. Don't send your children to these fucking white incubating schools because they want you to die.